How's it going? This is Odd.
Hey, it's Red here.
And Mal.
And you're about to listen to our podcast. I'm just going to give you a heads up. Probably not the greatest for having your kids around.
Nope.
We are a 18-plus podcast, and we would appreciate if you would take that into consideration, as we honestly have horrible mouths. And obviously,
influences will ruin your life.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, by what our name is, we are the Ganja people.
And I was smoking during this intro.
Hey, I'm Hud.
I'm Red.
And I'm Mal.
And we are the Ganja people.
Jesus.
Of course, as soon as I start it, you're like,
I'm sorry.
dying. I'm like, Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Let's die for the intro.
I didn't mean to. I felt like something was like tickling the back of my throat, and I had zero choice in coughing.
Odd, what are you doing over there?
No.
I'm packing a bowl. I don't need to know what you're doing with Mal.
No. Yeah. No. No, we're being good. Anyways, what's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Hey!
You did it again, but the dog didn't go off this time because the dog's with us.
Yeah, the dogs are chilling.
They are. They're out here hanging out with
They're
us.
know
like,
there ain't shit.
there ain't shit here.
It's actually nice outside. It's not cold. It's not windy. There's no fucking snow.
I'm sure you can hear the birds.
That's a fuck of a bull, bud. Like, it's like mountain on top of that little tiny pepper.
I'm going to...
He's like, let's just flatten it.
I love my little tool, that has the little flat thing on the end of it, because it's perfect. It fits right inside a bowl, and you go blip, 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 and packs it right in there.
I just use my thumb.
It sticks to my thumb every
stamper.
time, and it pisses me off, because then I feel like I'm wasting wheat, because I can't get it back in the freaking bowl. Pisses me off.
She's Anne tenor, bud. Oh, fuck, I didn't bring a lighter.
And I only have...
Shit.
Honestly, I only have one today, because I don't have my coat on.
Well, I'm not wearing my jacket at all.
I'm not either.
I don't even have a hoodie on or anything. It's 70 degrees today, so...
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm chilling out in a bathrobe, because it's comfy and warm.
Because, you can't just chill out in a shirt and shorts.
Or a half a shirt.
Then again, I can't say anything because I'm still wearing jeans. So.
I have sweatpants and a t-shirt and a robe.
There's that blue heron again.
Yeah, we saw
I wonder
yesterday.
where it's flying to, because there's a pond over there.
I bet you that's where he's coming from.
Yeah, I know, but where's he going to, though? That's the question.
I don't know.
Because usually blue herons are always on water. Like, they live on water.
Right.
Because they eat fish, and they eat frogs, and
Anything
aquatic...
they can get their little beaks on.
Aquatic
Snakes.
bullshit, yeah.
I don't know.
I had to make sure my mic was still on.
Right.
I was like, I didn't check that at all.
Yeah, you should be on, because you're loud as shit on here.
Oh, guess what? It was off.
Oh, wow.
Now it's on. Hello, guys. Now everybody can hear me.
I'm sure they could hear you before.
Probably
Somebody
not.
was probably picking you up.
I could see it, definitely. It was like, when she's talking, so.
Okay.
So, I think it's time for the green hit of the night. Ooh, that was a close one. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Odd.
Sweet.
So, we are smoking out
Does
of
this
my...
have a carb yet?
Yeah.
I forgot you said it's ass backwards.
Yeah, so we are smoking out of my red hot chili pepper tonight.
Which is it kind of goes upwards. Like, it's kind of strange.
It is strange. I think the
and
carbs...
it's curved, so, like, being that it's curved, you're like...
I don't like where the
fucking
curb
weird.
is. The curb's weird on it, too.
It is. I feel like it would be better over here, because you hold, like,
So,
right there.
I'll show you how I... Yeah, that's what I do.
This
That's
is how
what
I figured to be
cradle.
smartest. I just have to
Yeah.
make sure I can actually reach the curb.
So if you, drop it, you still have the stem to catch. Because you just squeeze your fingers tight and you got the stem.
I was like, I'm not sure who's going to where.
And if Mal reached for it, I wouldn't have been offended.
That's the reason I was like, I'm not sure who it's
He
going
didn't
to.
reach far enough for me to reach for it. I was like,
Oh,
no.
come
wasn't
on.
close enough
That's as
battle
far as this
where-
arm fucking reaches, okay? I'm not twisting my whole body.
Other arm. Use the other arm.
Well,
It's closer to me.
That's not fun. Not to mention, I'm not very confident with my right hand on things. Like, I'm clumsy with my right hand.
But you're a left-handed person.
I am. I'm pretty ambidextrous, but like...
Odd told me the other day, he's just waiting for the day he comes home and finds me left-handedly tattooing my bookworm here and fixing him.
What
And
was
I'm
it
like,
I was saying?
It's coming.
What was I
telling you
saying?
it's coming.
Oh, was it that Same tattoo? Are we talking about the same tattoo? Because there was one I was
The
talking
little
about,
bookworm on her.
and you wanted it left-handed on your...
No.
No, she wanted to write left on
I'm going to
her
write
right.
left on my thumb.
That's what
Probably
it was.
when I do my leg tattoo, I'll do my thumb and say left on it.
Okay.
And
then you want right.
Yeah, but I got to figure out how to tattoo left-handed because I'm
That's
right-handed.
what it was. Now I remember.
Yeah, I'm right-handed, and I can't write with my left hand. So now I have to sit down and try and practice and get good at writing and drawing with my left hand. So I can tattoo my fucking self.
With both fucking hands.
Yep.
Well, you see here.
I mean, those of us that are ambidextrous, those of us that are left-handed, you have to be ambidextrous.
Or maybe once I get Odd's confidence up a little bit and he does another couple pieces, he'll finally agree to fix some things for me.
I grew up with a left-handed father, so I learned the ways of the left-handed.
I got my left-handedness from my father.
So my dad is left-handed. My mom is right-handed. When I was a baby, I used my left hand for everything. And every time I tried to use my left hand for things, my mom would switch it to my right hand, and she made me right-handed because she didn't want to have to buy special scissors and shit.
That's stupid, though. That's like changing the outcome of your child.
Right.
On purpose, literally. Because let's be honest, left-handed people are more resilient than right-handed people.
You almost went racist.
I know, I was like, I can't talk. Well, we ripped his fucking bong at his house.
Left-handedness caused white supremacy.
No.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh, good lord.
But anyways,
That's what your mom was hating against. I see it now.
Yep.
Okay, she almost had a point.
Almost. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. It's really annoying and it pisses me off every time she says something about it. I'm like, she's like, it would be better for you to be right-handed. Don't let your kids grow up to be left-handed. I'm like, if my kids end up being left-handed, they're left-handed. Like,
it makes you tougher as a person. You have to get used to fucking doing everything right-handed.
and I gotta give you credit because I sure as fuck can't write like this. I've watched so many left-handed people that write with their arm twisted like this and their hand cocked to the side so they can write on the paper properly. I'm like, what are you doing?
I write like this. I mean, I'm not like...
I think they do it so that, like...
I know a lot of people
binder
like
rings?
do it like this. Yeah, they do it like this because they have better control with their wrist.
I thought it was because of the binder rings and stuff that they're used to writing over,
But I don't know.
and they didn't want to drag their hand into their writing.
That's why they make left-handed notebooks and shit, but they're really hard to find. Like Walmart, I was looking, just because I'm curious. I was looking at notebooks. I didn't see a single left-handed notebook, journal, nothing. I'm like, you people suck.
Well, it's just because left-handed people just do everything right-handed. Like, you get used to it, or you just get used to doing shit cockeyed. Like, if you ever look at me when I'm drawing or writing, my shit's cockeyed. My paper's never straight.
Right.
It's always cockeyed because I write cockeyed.
Yeah, but I'm right-handed, and when I'm drawing, how often is my page straight? I flip that freaking sketchbook around like a damn...
Well, yeah, it
carousel
makes
all
it
the
easier
time.
so that way you don't have to, like, crick your hand around to fucking draw. But at the same time, like, you can't do that when you're tattooing somebody. You just have to get used to, like... I don't know, I just smear all my fucking shit with my hand,
right.
with all my pencil marks. I'm like, fuck. That's why they make ink.
I mean, I was always told I hold pencil a weird way because I hold it like this, like because that's how I was taught. You just hold it on, rest
it
on
depends
your...
on what it is, I guess. Because, like, when I have a pencil in my hand, I hold it like this.
You hold a pencil? Like, what?
Yeah, I hold it like this. And then that's
Like,
how I...
It's pinched between these two fingers?
Yeah. So, like, I draw like...
Yeah,
or
that's
I
like
write
how
like
I do
that.
it.
Okay, so when you're
Or,
drawing...
like, I do it like this, but that makes me push harder when I go like this.
Yeah, I have a really
So,
hard...
yeah, that's just why I
do
start...
you tattoo like that?
Well,
It's
yeah,
like when you-
I gotta pay attention.
Oh, no wonder you tattoo.
It's because I have to steady. I have to steady, so I'm like this. You know?
Such a hard tattoo.
But, like, I don't push hard, though, because, like, I don't even... I float the needle a tiny bit still, so I don't even push it all the way into the skin. That I can or anything. So I know that's my way of telling myself I'm not pushing, like, pushing, like...
I don't know.
Like I do with a pencil.
I've never actually really watched you tattoo me, because both of the ones you've given me, I couldn't really watch you do, and the next one I'm getting, I can't watch you do that one either. But you're definitely a heavy-handed person, for sure.
Oh, I know I am on, like, with pencil and stuff. I just have to try to be, like, I try not to write like this, because it's neater because I'm paying, like, I have, like, more control over where shit's going. But at the same time, it's dark as fuck.
My issue when I was a kid is I'd have the finest points, but I'd have the heaviest hand. So I'd just be like, oh, put the tip to the paper, just snap.
I only draw with mechanical pencils.
You know
because
what?
I love how tiny and very focused on that.
Okay, but you, sir, because you are so heavy-handed with a pencil, even on paper, you need drawing pencils because they have different hardnesses. If you use one, like the set you got me, the lightest one, I don't give a fuck how hard you push. That bitch is barely there. I've tried.
Was
it's
it
great.
H1?
It's like a 6H.
6H.
5 or 6H.
I get it backwards.
Yeah, I have a 5 and a 6H, and I use them both for sketching because you cannot go too dark over it.
Right.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah, I was doing some drawing yesterday.
He's gonna tattoo my bum, guys. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know? What do you want to know? It's a freaking piece of pizza, and it says "slice of wife."
A really cheesy piece of pizza with pepperoni and mushrooms.
Like gooey cheese with stuffed crust. It is delicious.
Nice.
And burnt cheese on the top. Like that brown cheese, you
right,
know, a little bit. Yeah. I'm really excited. I'm really nervous to do it because I don't want to fuck up my wife's ass.
No, this is when you actually change the tattoo,
but at
and make it something else.
You
no, I would never do that.
I would kill somebody. Like,
so, no, but like,
what if it was a tattoo he had designed for like 3 years in secret and was like, "I'll put that on her ass," and then like you think you're gonna get this pizza, and then it was like something you really loved, like this.
Okay, but like
stupid, ridiculous sugar skull or something.
Okay, but like I still did not consent to this.
Right? Yeah. No. It's gonna definitely be the pizza, but like, I'm hoping it's gonna turn out as good as like it's drawn and rendered. Like, I hope it comes out pretty good.
Right.
Like,
I'm
obviously,
sure
I don't want to destroy my wife's ass. I mean,
Yeah, because you're the one who has to look at it forever, not me.
You know what I told her the other day? I was like, you know what's going to be hilarious in like 35, 40 years? She's like, what's that? I'm like, when I tell our grandkids that grandma has a piece of pizza on her ass.
Oh my
God.
God.
And like our granddaughter doesn't believe it. So then Mal has to show them her ass.
And show them my wrinkly piece of pizza.
Like,
the cheese is extra gooey now.
Talking about some
and it's
texture.
like, it's got texture.
Look at me stretch that cheese out.
Oh, God. That's hilarious.
Damn. I'm gonna have a saggy ass with drippy cheese.
Dude, that's going to be the best thing ever in like
Every
35
time,
years.
No, we're gonna be old and we're gonna be fucking, and you're gonna be behind me just giggling like an idiot at this saggy ass cheese.
That
pizza.
shit's going to be crisp, too. Anyways, like, yeah.
Yeah, no. Like in the summertime, first of all, when I tan, I turn dirt colored, guys. I don't even get a nice tan. I literally just look dirty all the time.
She literally does. She looks like Pigpen.
And,
like,
yeah,
naturally.
it's terrible. And Odd will be like, hey, go wash your hands. And I'm like, I did. They're just tan. Leave me alone. I know I look dirty. But I look like I have a white bodysuit on, but I don't have clothes on because I'm so pale.
Besides, like, right here and, like, right here. Because she wears fucking capris all the time.
Oh, no. I have shorts lines, and I have cami
Bathrobe
lines.
lines.
No, cami lines in the summer. I get cami lines. Or razorback lines.
But, yeah, so her booty's going to be white as fuck, so it's never going to get any sunlight, so that's going to be crisp in 30 fucking years. It's going to be, like, perfect. Because we were talking about how tattoos fade.
Right.
And how you, like, fuck your tattoos up. So, I'll tell everybody now, take word
Take heed.
that I'm telling you right now. When you get a tattoo, you don't have to get that bitch touched up all the time or anything after it's fully healed and looks good. So, it might need one time of being touched up to make sure everything's good and solid, maybe. In the event that happens, though, you should never have to touch it again, and it should stay nice and crisp. Until you're like wrinkly as fuck when you're super old. Let's be honest here.
As long as you take care of it, though.
So the way that you take care of it after it's done healing, you just put like at least an SPF 30 on, and you do it about an inch past wherever your tattoo is. I just do my kneecaps down because most of my kneecaps down are tattooed, honestly.
I literally
Behind my kneecaps, like all the way down to my feet, literally my toes, the tops of my feet are tattooed. So, the inside of my feet, all of it, it's all tattooed. So, I do my kneecaps down usually twice a day if I'm in the sun all day long.
Okay.
And I have tattoos that are 12, 13 years old that literally look like they were done 6 months ago.
Yeah, and in comparison, I have one on my shoulder. It's my very first tattoo. I got it when I was 18. I am just shy of 31. Okay, so it's been a hot minute. And I didn't take care of it. I've never sunscreened it until the last, 5 years or so. And that fucker is faded as hell.
No, you're talking about your butterfly in your back, right?
Yeah.
It does. It almost looks like it's like a weird Polynesian tribal almost.
Yeah,
now.
it needs love really, really badly.
Because any ink that was color in it is almost completely gone.
Yeah, I've sunburned it. I can't tell you how many times. That's the comparison. But that one's not even, it's older or just as old as some of yours. And yours look 10 times better because you took care of them.
I'm very anal retentive about my tattoos. I got them, and I promise you I hate being tattooed. I'm not a fan of it. I probably have 50 hours worth of tattooing done, though.
Dude, it sucks.
At least 50 hours done. Because, just my feet alone were almost... having all the tattoos done on my feet, I probably have 12 hours in just feet tattoos.
Jesus.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. It took 3 hours to do all my toes. It was 2.5 hours. It took 5 hours to do the top of one foot, 3 hours to do the other top of my other foot. My cheeseburger on the inside of my foot is about 2.5 hours. And so far I have about an hour, little over an hour in getting animal done on the inside of my other foot.
Tattoos.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of getting. I love getting
tattoos. He loves having tattoos.
Yeah, I hate getting tattoos, but I love having tattoos. The way I look at it is it's an hour to 6 hours of pain for a lifetime of having them. And that's how I look at it. So I sit and grin and bare my teeth, just fucking clench them bitches up when I have to and stop breathing, if that's what I have to do, in order to sit as still as I possibly fucking can while somebody fucking drills me with some needles.
Red, you should have been here when we did his animal. You would have been so proud of him. I'm surprised he didn't break his fucking teeth, clenching his jaw, doing it right along the arch of his foot.
Yeah, that fucking chain. She started with that fucking chain on the bottom of that. And I'm telling you, the arch of your foot, never get that motherfucker tattooed. I have just the tip of it, the very top of it. And it's ungodly to get tattooed. I was like, you best short line that bitch. And she's like, okay. So, do it just a little bit and then give it a pull. And when she would pull out, my fucking whole foot would just freak the fuck out for a second.
Yeah, dude.
Because I held the twitch until she pulled her needle. So, and I was like, So we got through it. It was actually pretty quick. She maybe an hour and 15 minutes in the outline, honestly.
Do the whole outline, not the chain, guys. The whole outline.
No, the whole outline for the whole thing, which is pretty detailed, and especially for the spot it is. She tattooed literally 4 inches all the way around my ankle bone, including my ankle bone.
Yeah.
So, which I don't mind getting bone tattooed. That doesn't bother me. It does a lot of people because they don't like the rattle in your, whatever you're getting. I had my shin done, and I had 5 hours into my shin. And I spent at least 2 hours of that getting my shin bone drilled directly. Jesus. And, it didn't bother me at all. I don't mind that. It's wherever ligaments or there's a lot of tendons or cartilage, that fucking hurts. Anywhere around your knee is a fucking bastard. Don't do it.
No.
I have everywhere around my knee, but the very tops above my knees and my kneecaps done. And
I'm sure you're gonna kick somebody in the face if you tried that one.
No, my kneecaps are next for sure. I already have my artist. I already have what's going on it. Yeah, I already have my kneecap artist planned out. I already have what's going on my kneecaps planned out.
You're going to hate your life.
The guy I'm having tattoo my kneecaps is heavy-handed, but he's extremely fast. And he does extremely dark work. So, it lasts perfectly. He's the one that did my foot with my drum set on it.
Okay.
So he did that whole thing in 3 hours. And that's with hand drawing on that scripture lettering that he did. And then tattooing it from just Sharpieing. So, yeah, he's a really good tattoo artist, but he's really, really heavy-handed. And it's kind of rough. But
so it just sounds like a couple hours of fun for...
Oh, it'll probably take probably 3.5 hours to do my kneecaps. For the size I'm thinking with the amount of detail in them. So, I mean, if Mal did it, would probably be closer to 5 hours.
I'm a bit... No,
I'm just comparing...
I get it.
I'm just comparing how fast this guy really is.
Because I love your tattoos, don't get me wrong.
I'm a perfectionist. So, I also, because of that, take my sweet-ass time making sure my line work is solid and beautiful. My colors are in there the way they're supposed to be. My design is perfect. And so I'm a rather slow tattoo artist.
Like, I'll put this in perspective for you. His tattoo shop does a thing called Toys for Tats. And it's to gain toys for Tots. Every person that brings a $20 toy can pick off of however many sheets that they have of Christmas stuff. Like, it could be a sleigh or a tree or Jack Skellington wearing a Santa hat, because I know that's what one of them was. I know a lot of people actually got that one that year. Anyways, it's $20 for the gift, and you go in, you get a random tattoo artist from that shop, and they tattoo you. And this guy tattooed 23 tattoos in one day.
Wow.
That tells you how fast this fucking dude is. These tattoos are probably maybe a little bit bigger than a 50-cent piece or so, but I mean, he's done 15 minutes. And you're like, holy fuck. Like, I mean, he's hauling dick. I watched him do a couple of them that day. And just hauls dick.
And then there's Mal. She does one like that. And then she spends the next... It takes her half an hour to at least do the tattoo. And then my eyeball is glued to that spot, searching it for any imperfections that need fixed.
I mean, me and Odd have sat out here for some of the tattoos, so...
They take a hot minute.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she's meticulous with what she does.
But I also don't really do small pieces, ever.
Like last night, she tattooed Yetta last night, actually.
I did tattoo Yetta.
And with tattooing Yetta, it was supposed to be a rose with 4 buds around it. Like little, baby roses. And then like maybe 3 leaves. 3, maybe 5 leaves, I don't know, something like that. And it was probably the size of your palm.
Yeah, it was like...
It was about the size... I mean, I have huge hands. So, I mean, like the size of my palm. You want me to turn the light on?
I mean, you didn't have to walk away before doing...
I don't mind. Anyways, so it's like the size of your palm. And... Come on, fucking...
Come on, go lay down.
Anyways, probably the size of her palm. And then she blew it up...
I didn't like it. It was too small. And
I was like, this is a decent sized piece. Like, it's not really small or anything. And nice. Me and Mal just talked about this, like, not even a month ago, that she was going to try to do some smaller pieces. So that way she could try getting used to doing smaller pieces and not everything. It's going to take 3 to 5 hours.
Right.
At a minimum for half of these. I mean... Fuck, the one that she's doing for Miff's wife that's on her back, I think she has like 6 hours into it already. And she still has 4 fucking flowers to do in it. Like...
And if she thinks I'm not going to go back through the ones I've already done and do more to them, she's nuts. Because, like, her problem is she started this when I first started tattooing 6 months ago. And I'm 6 months in now and do things way different.
But, like...
Marco.
Polo.
Fuck. Anyways, bastards. Like, she has big pieces with lots and lots of time in them. But she has very, very, very little of anything smaller. Like, I can probably count on 2 hands how many small tattoos she's done since she started.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of small
that are
tattoos.
less than, like, an hour to do. Probably...
Less than an hour? Oh my god, I can count on one hand the number of ones that's taken me less than an hour.
Oh, I mean, both of my sisters... My one sister has 2 of them that took that long. My friend Morgan, that's at least 4.
Megan, 5.
Yeah, Megan. I mean, I could think of probably about 10 overall that she's done that's less than an hour to do. Which is like...
Nothing.
Yeah. Plus, like when I tattooed the crack star on her chest, like, it probably took us an hour. It is one fucking star that's like the size of a quarter.
He's
Maybe,
adorable.
I mean, probably between the size of a quarter and a 50-cent piece. Somewhere
I made
in
him put him on my chest. He thought I was crazy. But I needed a tester piece because I have another planned piece for my chest, and I needed to see how bad it was going to hurt.
Sorry, I don't know. I didn't know who took first hit, but it was
did.
Mel, huh? Sorry, I'm fucking up.
Yeah, I don't like doing small pieces. I can't help it, and most people don't want a small piece for me. Yetta's was so small that I didn't like how it flowed with her body. I'm like, no, this has to be bigger. And so I literally doubled the size.
Yeah, I was like, holy fuck. Like craziness. But...
You gotta...
Sorry.
He got up at 2 a.m.
It was 2:10 this morning.
Yeah, and I was just sitting down to eat because I had only finished cleaning up and taking the dogs out and stuff. It was a while before that. Because that's how late we were tattooing last night. Because Yetta sat through the whole damn thing. I'm so proud of her. I really thought she'd break it into two, and she sat through the whole fucking thing.
I mean, it was about 4.5, 5 hours.
I was proud of her.
Which, I sat for 4.5 hours for Mal's first tattoo.
Yep. Yeah,
that was rough. A very long 4.5 hours of my life. Because not only was I getting a tattoo for 4.5 hours, but it was by somebody that had no fucking clue of anything.
Listen, practice skins, the ones I had were terrible because they were like the cheap ones, and I didn't realize there was a difference. We just got some for me to practice on, and I hated them. So I got fed up with it, and I finally decided to tattoo my hubby because he was going to let me. And the poor man.
I'm going to let you tattoo me. Did you just say you're my practice skin?
Yeah, legit. I mean, it turned out really good. We just touched it up the other day, which was only like 3 spots in the whole thing, and all of them were in like the mushroom of it. So the actual gnome was perfect the first time.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me because there was a lot of detail in that little bastard for being a first tattoo. And, like, all the lines turned out really nice. The best part of the whole damn thing, and probably one of my favorite things that she shaded so far, is the hat of it. It shaded perfectly. It was her very first tattoo, and I'm like, that's just crazy to me.
Right.
Like, how she did it so good on her very first try is just beyond me. That just shows you the artisticness, like, the artistry that she has.
Right.
Honestly.
Like I said, I love all of her tattoos.
Right? Well, I told her when she started, I'm like, you're going to be a new school artist. It's going to be some sort of your own version of illustrated new school of some sort. Because, like, she loves doing cartoon characters and cutesy fucking things.
Stuffies.
Dude, my stuffies are adorable, and I fucking love them, and wait till you see the next set that's getting released.
Oh, great.
They're awesome.
So, like, I know that, like, I told her, I'm like, you're just going to be a new school artist. This is what's going to happen. Like, eventually her stuffies are going to quit being like that, and their buttons are going to be this fucking big on them for their eyes, and they're going to be, like, one's huge, one's little, and she's going to make these things fucking wild. I can tell already.
It's been long and hard deciding on how I want to tweak these things, because they're adorable, but they could be better. So, I have been thinking long and hard, and I have ideas I'm going to try.
Right. But, like, she's going to be a new school illustrated something artist.
Right.
Like, most everything she's going to do is going to be illustrated of some sort.
And I love doing color. Like, I could do without doing black and gray ever again. And I think I've done, like, 1, 2.
A couple.
I've done a couple of them.
Miff and his wives were both, they had the
and
king
gray.
and queen things that were black and gray.
And I'm just like, fuck me. It's boring. Like, it's beautiful. When people can do it well, it's beautiful. But for me to do it, it's boring. I don't enjoy doing it personally.
Right. So, we had quite a conversation there. See,
Yeah.
Stoner's getting off on a tangent. So, Red, what are we talking about for tonight's strain of the night?
So,
I was like, fuck, what do we call that?
I figure the strain of the night, we could talk about a little bit of Blue Dream. I believe we haven't talked about it on the show yet.
I think we've mentioned it.
Yeah,
We might have mentioned
Like
it
in
a lot.
conversation.
I'm
Or
pretty
in
sure. Or
past,
as
like as
a parent
thingies.
strand or a sibling or something. So, Blue Dream is, we've smoked a lot.
Yeah,
of
we've
Blue
smoked
Dream.
a lot of Blue Dream over the last couple of years.
Every time you talk about Blue Dream in a conversation with Blue, I swear to God, he has a raging heart on, and he has to go and find a way to get money so he can get that Blue Dream. Like,
Okay,
he's
but
crazy about it.
That's because the word blue is in it.
I'm sure that's exactly.
I mean, he's
why.
obsessed with the word blue.
Obsessed with blue things. That's why we call him Blue. Anyway, this is also a very well-known strand because it is a 420 legend. It has competed multiple strands, and you can find it everywhere. It is very energizing. It helps. It is, makes you very happy and relaxed. But you get dry mouth. But it's like,
I mean, we are talking
we
about
talk
weed
about
here.
it all the time.
Like, we
We
bitch
talk
about it
about-
every episode, I think.
But
Some sort.
this one also does dry eyes, which adds to the redness in your eyes when you are, ripped. Like, rip.
Good news, I have eye drops for that.
I always have red eyes, though, when I'm ripped. It don't matter.
It's more mainly for stress and anxiety and depression, but don't think it will help your insomnia, because it's
I say
not the best.
Yeah, because all three things, I deal with all the fucking time, and it's beautiful for that. But man, it does not help you sleep.
It's parents. The Blue Dream has parent strand of blueberry and haze. So,
I mean, both are legendary. Both are really old. I mean, haze is... obviously, Jimi Hendrix was talking about Purple Haze back in the late 60s. So, haze has been around for a hot minute.
Right.
And, I know blueberry's been around for a decent amount of time,
Blueberry,
too.
I've heard a lot of blueberry. I feel like I've smoked a lot of blueberry, too. But it was like...
Always something extra.
Yeah, it was always like, oh, man, you got this blueberry laying around. Like, okay, what's up here?
Well, like, everything I've had blueberry cookies. I've had blueberry cake. I've had blueberry kush. All of them are not just blueberry. They're a hybrid with something else. Or it's a parent to... the actual blueberry would be the parent to it.
Right.
So, I don't know if I've ever had just straight blueberry before.
Like I said, it wouldn't have been for a really long time. So, things I can also say about it. It takes about 10 to 12 weeks for flowering. It usually has a 3 to 6 ounce per square foot yield when you grow it.
Which is pretty decent.
It's usually 78 inches tall when you grow it too. So it's big ass fucking plant.
Which, you have to think, I know I've talked about this before, but we'll go over it again. If you're topping or fimming, then your plant should be pretty fucking huge if you're doing it right.
Right.
Because after your second node, you top them or fim them, which I'm going to fim mine when I do start growing eventually here. Because I guess with fimming, you don't just get 2 like you do when you top. You can get up to like 6 colas that grow out of it. And then what you do is you take wire or, bread bag, twist ties, shit like that. And you pull the plant over very carefully as it starts growing upwards. And you tie it to the side of a bucket or whatever you're growing in. Make sure you have it so you can make holes in it. And you just do that, and then it'll grow to the sun or your light. So it'll automatically start growing through that hoop and straight up. So then what you do is, each time that you would have a node, you clip that and pull it down, and you just make a fucking bush for a plant.
Oh.
And then it grows straight the fuck up. And then most of the time, you have a couple of colas. If you have a really tall fucking plant, you'll have a couple of colas on one stalk. Most of the time with shorter plants or auto flowering, you only get 1 cola. per stalk. But you can get like 20, 30, 40 stalks that all have fucking colas. Because with weed, the cola is like the flower, that's what you smoke. But it's one of those things that it thinks it's the strongest part of the plant. Like, it's getting all the good shit. So when you do that so many times and it grows upwards, they're all getting all the nutrients themselves, they think. So you get a whole lot more weed, and you get a whole lot better weed by doing this, because instead of having to cut so many leaves every day, you cut a couple here and there to make sure that a lot of light gets to the whole thing. But when it grows up, it grows into a big fucking bush. And all of the colas get a lot of sunlight. Yeah, what?
I have a question.
What?
Okay, so because it thinks it's the strongest part, and this thing has to distribute a ridiculous amount of nutrients to all these things when you have a plant that big, okay? How do you make sure it's getting enough nutrients? Like, what do you feed these things?
I mean, there's a lot of different companies that they call them newts, which are nutrients. And then they also have, like, the kind of soil you put them in. Okay. They have, like, really, really enriched soils that you can buy for them. I know Fox's Farm is the big one that everyone talks about. I haven't gotten into it yet, so I don't know anything about it, or I know you knew like 2 or 3 times while you have your bowl.
Once you get started, you're gonna know a lot.
Oh, once I get started, on Facebook, I'm in a whole bunch of grower. I'm in a whole bunch of grower things. So like, they'll take pictures and say, "Hey, first time grower here, so sorry if I'm retarded, but what does this look like? If it looks wrong, like your leaves are turning white or they're kind of yellowish, and they look like they're lacking in nutrients, you could just be overwatering your plant. Because if you overwater them, it'll actually kind of drown them, and then it'll start wilting and turn yellow.
And that's why Mal's not allowed to take care of them.
Yeah, Mal's not even allowed to look at them.
Nope. I have the biggest black thumb in the whole wide world.
I'm not playing that game.
I'm not touching them either.
No, my stepdad.
Red's like, I'll just buy it once it's done.
Exactly.
My stepdad asked me to take care of his garden one summer because I was living there. And what are you looking for? I was living there and he was working all day. So he asked me to take care of his garden that summer. I killed the whole fucking thing.
Nice.
But like, I've been doing a ton of research since last summer. Once they started talking about weed being legal in Pennsylvania, I started doing some research. You can ask Mal.
Yep.
Me and her are one and the same when it comes to research. We both want to know everything there is to know about it and how it works, what happens, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a fucking chart with growing weed that you want to follow for, like, what your temperatures are at and your moistures, because throughout plants' life, it needs different things. So this chart
monitor how much light you need, how much for certain stages.
More or less, you just use the same light the whole time. But like, some people say 23-in-1 is great for it because it gets an hour of rest.
18 hours and then about 5 hours of rest or something.
Some do 18. Yeah, it's 18-in-5 or 18-in-6. A lot of them. Some people are 12-in-12. Some are 23-in-1. So like with auto flowering. With auto flowering, you're supposed to leave your light on all time.
Okay.
And then you leave your light only a couple of inches away. You should be able to put your hand between your light and your plant and let it sit there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
without burning your hand. And if it does, then you're too close to your plant. Yeah. You're going to burn your plant. Oh. But you're only supposed to be maybe 4 inches from your plant, and you just have a way that you raise your light higher and higher every day.
Chains.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to use for it.
A little rigging system, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm just going to get a big one and attach the chain to it, and then just have those, like, a hook that chains it on itself, like a normal chain you'd buy. I'll just buy 4 of those and wrap them on there, and then just, at the beginning, have it all the way to the bottom, just bring 1/4 up, like an inch or two, and do it to all of them.
You could hook S-hooks onto the lights and just have it climb up the chain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like the other way I just mentioned would be a little more secure.
Maybe.
Because you're just doubling up the chain. And because if you're just S-hooking it, it could come loose somehow, I feel like. I would be nervous about that. Because these lights are like $600-$700 lights. Mm-hmm. Like these...
Grow lights are not cheap at all.
No. You only need one light for a whole tent.
You could use like the frickin' clippy things. You know what I'm talking about.
Secateurs?
Carabiners.
That word.
Ah.
Yeah, carabiners. I mean, they have a locking system on them and everything. Most of, like, expensive ones do, not
Good
the
ones
cheap
do,
ones that
not
you
like
use for
keychain
like your
ones.
keychains. Like your keychain that you have right now is a carabiner.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a
was
really
thinking-
little one.
Yeah, and that was not for climbing.
Yeah, no.
At all.
That would not. No.
Lost in the woods. All right, little bastard. We gotta get up that hill. All right, we can do this.
I mean,
You're rated for 60 pounds. Let's do this.
I mean, you could probably do it in a way if you were careful. A certain way you did it, though.
You have way more faith in that little clip than I do.
It will be at its limit, and it will be stretched out to a fucking non-useful thing ever again.
Yeah,
but
like-
you could probably get up what you need to get up.
I don't know. That fucker wouldn't be able to hold him, like Tucker, much less any of us.
I was
If
like,
he's jerking on it, but if you're like
No,
pulling up slowly enough, you
it's
could
gonna
probably.
stretch it. It's gonna stretch it.
That's the point.
And to
Yeah,
the point
if
it
it gives you
breaks.
enough time to stretch, you gotta get done before the
Oh no!
stretching's done.
Then you better pull quick.
That's the point.
Not slow and easy. Fucking pull quickly.
That's when it breaks.
because you're jerking on it.
Not if you do.
Yeah,
it
you can't
just-
jerk it.
No.
It'll break.
No,
Yeah.
dude, just grab it and then you run. Just one constant speed, or else you're fucked.
Up a hill.
Sounds
a
like a
mountain.
bad night.
Yeah, running up a mountain. I just want to see her do that just one time. All right. Run up the mountain, woman. Like,
First of all, have you ever really seen me run?
no,
And two,
not really.
am I
We'll
really
give you
graceful?
2 carabiners to run up that mountain.
Yeah. And two, do I really look? Am I really graceful enough to pull that off? Think about this for a second.
Right. No.
No.
Not in the slightest.
We have no faith in you.
I know. I have no faith in me too. It's okay.
All right. So, what was we talking about?
No confidence in Mal on something.
I'm running up a hill.
On
Oh, yeah,
running
yeah.
up a hill.
Yeah.
carabiner.
Oh my God! Enough of the carabiner bullshit. So you should tell us, Mal. What is your dipshit question of the night?
Don't make it too bad, because I got weed in my hand. I can't face palm that bad.
You can with the other hand.
Where does
I gotta put a pipe in that. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's like,
Bye-bye.
you kidding me? The hamster in my mind just fucking punts that bitch and goes, later!
The hamster turned around and was like, oh, there's a carrot in the corner.
Peace out, Girl
The
Scout.
boy's hamster in his head just yeets that bitch.
Yeah, yeah, bitch.
And it only knows how to yeet.
Yeah, no, he
Oh,
yells
it
at
knows how to eat.
Yeah.
I did that twice today.
What, yelled yeet?
No, I just fucking forgot what I was doing. I was like, fuck.
I don't want to talk about forgetting things. Do you have any idea how much bullshit I forgot today?
She only forgot to bring money over to get weed
Twice.
for me. Twice.
I reminded her twice even.
He did.
And she's like, oh, I'll get it in just a second.
She sent me messages as confirmation. And I'm like, okay, I will wait here. And then all of a sudden,
And then I messaged him again. I'm like, I suck really bad.
so I forgot. Okay, Mal.
I'm
I'll
so
make
glad
sure
I
to-
waited at home for an hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then she's like, so I'm gonna give the money to Odd, and he's gonna give it to you before he goes to work. That's what I got. And apparently what I heard afterwards was she was supposed to bring money to town to give to me so I could go to work.
Well, no, see, what happened was we had to go pick up my car.
Right.
And I was getting ready for work. I just got out of the shower. I was getting clothes on. And me and her were talking. And I said, you should get the money for Red for tonight. And she's like, oh, I will right before you leave.
It was
I'm like,
in my
okay.
wallet sitting by the door.
I'm like, okay. So then we get almost ready to get out of our bathroom. And I was like, don't forget to grab that money from Red, or for Red. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to do it as soon as we go out. And then one of the kids said something, and then I put my shoes on, and I was just, I got mixed up and stuff, and away I went.
And I just grabbed my keys.
So then we get over to
my
pick up my car, and I was like, hey, did you grab that money for me? Oh, no. I was like, I even reminded you twice.
So then I had to message Red and
You've
be
done
like, hey.
that so many times, too. When you grab your cigarettes, your mom.
Good God. I ate some. Oh.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Red. I suck really bad sometimes, okay?
It's okay. You're just a mama.
Every time you guys say that, I'm like, yeah, I'm a delicious mom. And it makes me giggle.
Oh, God. Oh, man. All right, so what's your other question?
Oh.
We got sidetracked.
We did. If you were born deaf, what language would you think in?
I think you've asked this question
Have I?
before.
I think you
Did I
have.
ask it?
I think you have.
Well, poo, then I don't have another one.
Yeah, I think she did.
Well, you got one good
I'm
one.
pretty sure you
Speaking
did.
of bad memory.
Good God. No, I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure that.
No, there was one I had saved that I'll just use that instead. You have to give me like a minute to find it.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God, if it's the one I sent you.
Hooba-dooba-doo.
So is meatloaf a giant meatball, or are meatballs miniature meatloaves?
God damn it. I regret sending
Yes,
that one to
my
you.
tummy is growling.
I mean, they're just two in their own things. Because you don't put all the same things in meatballs that you do in meatloaf.
Wrong,
You don't-
I do.
Oh,
But-
you put ketchup in your meatballs?
I don't put ketchup in my fucking meatloaf.
Most people do.
Okay,
I
well,
put
most people
ketchup
bad.
in my red sauce, not the meatloaf itself.
I'm just saying.
My meatloaf doesn't get sauce on it. Like, you'll get cheese on top of it if you would like, but that's about it.
You don't put, like, things on anything, though. We talked about this with your chicken wings, where you got, like, none of them or something. Or, like, there's nothing on them, and then you put stuff on the side or whatever.
When you were talking about making your own wings and everyone got different flavors or whatever, so you just put all the dressing on the side instead of actually putting them on the wings. That's what he was saying.
I got it, yeah. That still doesn't answer my question, guys.
They're two different things on our own.
Nope.
Yes, they are. They're not
I
even the same
think-
thing.
No. I think a meatloaf is just a big ass fucking meatball.
Well, next time I come over, you make sure you do spaghetti and meatloaf instead of spaghetti and meatballs.
Dude, I swear to God, I have a spaghetti pot that's this big around and this fucking tall, and I will make spaghetti, and I will put a meatloaf on top of it. I swear to God.
Just cut you off a fucking sliver of it. Get you a fucking
I'll
piece of meatloaf.
you know,
Do it for Friendsgiving.
Get some spaghetti in there.
you know the wild dish I have for the dogs, that green dish? I have a red one that's like 3 times that size. I will fill that bitch with spaghetti and drop that meatloaf on top of it.
And then
Get a 20-pound meatloaf.
you just
in the
like
middle
cut
of
the
it.
middle out of the meatloaf and you put like fucking spaghetti through it and shit. Make a fucking sculpture out of it.
I can make a tree or an octopus.
Holy good God. Oh,
Or
don't
you can
don't
shape-
even get it.
Or you could shape Odd's head out of the entire meatloaf and be like,
No, he's not a meathead. It's okay.
No, Tuck's a meathead though.
then put
Fat.
dog.
You have fat.
That might
I haven't
actually
eaten yet
scare the
today.
kids.
Well, that's your own fault.
I wasn't hungry.
Well, it sucks to suck.
It was warm today. My belly was like, no, fuck you.
I didn't eat any dinner of any sort.
Holy.
I mean, only thing I have eaten today actually is those chicken sandwiches that I had for lunch.
Yeah, that your wonderful wife made you.
I didn't deny that. I was going to do it myself, and then you started doing it after you're done doing the kid shit. I'm like, okay, good enough.
Usually you want me to make you lunch, so I made you lunch without you asking.
Sometimes. Dying.
He's like, usually like, hey, what are we having for lunch? I'm like, well, I'm having fresh air pie, but what are you having?
Fresh air pie. She's
In that fresh air cigarette. It's a cigarette underwear of crust.
quite the fucking pie you got there, Mal.
And the filling is coffee.
And hate.
Yeah.
Telling you, she lives off of like 6 things, bud. 6. We talked about them one night, I remember.
Yep.
I don't remember if we talked about it on the... Did we talk about it on the podcast? Did we?
Yep.
I couldn't remember if it was on the podcast or if we
Because
just talked
you
about it
didn't
one day.
get what we were talking about.
With the vitamin D.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, you do get vitamin D from the sun too, though. That is one of the vitamins, the main vitamin you get from the sun.
P.S. I love sunshine. I'm like a cat. I'll go curl up in the sunshine somewhere and just sit there for hours. So...
Here comes the fucking Gold Explorer 3 miles away. You hear the bass?
Oh, that's what that rattling is.
Yeah, it's gonna be a gold Ford Explorer.
Well, this is getting cut
sometimes
out.
they have a yappy dog barking out their fucking window.
Oh, that was ever not.
Gotta get that way.
Yeah, I know. I was looking that way. I mean, it was 4 inches
I was
off.
also looking that way.
It was
as well.
4 inches off. You know, I mean.
And we were not calculating.
Yeah, we recalculated. That's how we handled it.
Recalculating.
Yeah, recalculating.
Yeah, like, oh.
Dude, the only thing I can never think of when I hear recalculating is one year when we were at Rock on the Range in my mom's car. Her GPS is just fucking dumb. It'll just come up and be like, I don't know what we're doing. I'm like, what
We're
the fuck?
somewhere.
Yeah,
but-
literally, it'll come up with like these fucking question marks. You're like, oh, good.
When's the last time she updated it?
Oh, well, all the time. It's just, her GPS is just an ass. Anyways,
We're
like
somewhere, but recalculating.
this is like fucking 8 years ago, okay?
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so we're in Columbus, Ohio, and we're driving, and it throws up them fucking green things, like green question marks, and we're like, fuck, is it this exit or the next exit? So we're like, fuck it.
Recalculating.
Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's like, I don't fucking know. So as soon as these green question marks come up, it goes, the radio, it was a commercial on the radio, goes, I don't know what I want to do. What do you want to do? And we all started dying laughing, because I'm like, you motherfucker, Betty, because we call her Betty. She's a bitch. Betty the bitch. Anyway, so like, I'm just saying. Anyways, it's called Betty the bitch, and fucking, we're like fucking Betty. It was just perfect. I don't know what I want to do. What do you want to do? And we're like,
God.
all right, fucka, we got to get somewhere. Like, tell us where we're going.
That's
it was the
awesome.
best.
That's
thing
what I
ever.
want to do. I want to know where the fuck I'm going.
It doesn't know what we want to do.
Dude, that's not the kind of GPS I need. I need one that's reliable, because, like, I'll get lost in a paper bag with the directions written on the
Dude,
inside.
You need a Gordon Ramsay.
I do.
The sad thing.
You're like, you stupid bitch, why'd you get off the wrong exit? Now you gotta go 3 miles up the road and go turn left. Don't miss it this time or it's gonna be another 6 miles.
I'd probably cry if I was PMSing.
So, legit, never have Mal be your navigator. I'll tell you now. She's more worthless than tits on a bull when it comes to navigating. We're going to her aunt's house. First time we ever went there. First 3 times we've ever went there. We're driving and she goes, our next road, it's the name of a president. I remember that. And I'm like, that's helpful. So I'm like, which way are we supposed to be going? Like, are we going to take a left or right? She goes, it's going to be a left. I'm like, okay. So we're driving and I'm like, I don't even remember what the fuck it's called now. And we get up to it.
Reagan.
Yeah, it's Reagan. Yeah, Reagan Road. We get almost up, or like just get up to it. She goes, right there. And I'm like, fuck. So we're doing fucking 60, so I have to slow down, fucking turn around in the road, because we're in bumfuck nowhere, you know. And like, oh my God. So we get on that road. We get going. I'm like, where's her road at? I don't know. It's right just after a church. So, like, you're going, and you're bumfuck nowhere climber. You know, there's churches everywhere.
Right.
So I get up past this church. I'm like, there's a church. Where's it at? She goes, I don't know. What? So then we get up to a T. I'm like, all right, we're at a T. We have to turn. Are we taking a left or a right? And she goes, I don't know. What the fuck, Mal? Like,
Dude, I'm terrible.
so she's like, I'm pretty sure we have to take a right. Go towards Sherman. I'm like, okay. So we take a right. We're going. She goes, oh, it's that house. As we're fucking. I'm like, God damn it. I've memorized the route now.
Dude, you know what's even worse?
You still don't know where you're going.
No, I can't drive there myself.
She's fucking been there like a dozen times. I'm like, how the fuck?
If we go to my uncle's, I get lost every time I drive by myself.
It's in fucking Cranesville.
One time I got so lost, and my stepdad just had to come find me. I had to park on the side of the road, and he just had to come find me.
There's like 4 fucking turns to get there. Literally. Like, you know when you're coming into Edinburgh, there's that big fucking curve before you start going down the hill? There's a road right there. You just take that road, and then you go to where there's a really big, weird garage, like weird-shaped garage. And you take a left right there, and you just follow that motherfucker for like
Ever.
20 miles. And then you get past this church. There's a church on the right. As soon as you get past it, it's the next fucking road on the right.
Mouse dipshit.
That's how easy it is to get there. Like, it's literally no turns at all. Like, you can take literally our road that we live on all the way to Union City. Like, you merge onto the Elgin Road and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And follow that to Union City. You take a left, you go up the hill, you take a right, and that's it. You just fucking follow that shit, and then you get all the way to the fucking turn. Right there. There's 2 turns, and then you're fucking there. She can't do it. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
It took me 6 months to figure out how to get to our house more than one way.
She only knew how to take Route 6. She couldn't take levels. She couldn't take the one back here. She couldn't take County Line. She couldn't
Her mind would have exploded if we went Sherman. So we take Sherman over today from my mother's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, listen, I get so lost. I have 0 sense of direction.
Heat lightning. Anyways, Stuart.
That's what it is.
I still can't take Stuart. I never take Stuart because I'll get lost. I'm afraid of it.
It's a straight shot. And then you get around the curve, you fucking follow the curve. You take a right when you get to the end of the blacktop, and you follow that bitch, and it comes right there.
I get lost.
Like, I can't fucking do it. Oh, God.
I know how to get here like 3 or 4 ways now, and that's about the way
I just don't like going out that way. I could probably do it because I've come in that way enough times, but I don't want to.
I like going out that way.
I still take.
If I'm going to town, if I'm going to like legit town, like if we're going to John Boy's and them, like that's how I take it. It's the quickest way. Wow, you guys lit at the exact same time. That was fucking creepy. It's like you choreographed it.
Aries thing, fist bump.
Yeah, okay. I told Red today that his neighbor's going to think he's a Satanist because he has this huge tapestry in his window. And it's an Aries tapestry, so it's got all these fucking goats. And like,
rams.
they have, rams, and they have wings and shit. And I'm like, they're going to think he's a fucking Satanist that worships goats because the Aries is the very bottom of it. And you know, there ain't no way in fuck they're going to see that. So you just see fucking goats in the window. I'm like, oh, that's...
I need to get a pentagram painted on my wall in blood. Just be like, yeah, that's for my goat.
That's to keep the Jehovah's Witnesses away.
That's in case somebody comes around and asks questions. Be like, we don't ask questions around here no more.
And then they're like, oh, serial murderer, sweet.
Put me on the list for whatever you got.
Oh, God.
That means you get to come back.
All right, you guys ready for the Urban Dictionary word of the night?
Yes.
Now I am.
It's my fave.
Okay. What is a boner jam?
A boner jam?
Yeah, a boner
Music
jam.
that's so good, it's like orgasmic.
Boner jam. Alright, I don't know how literal I want to go with it.
Or it's a jam you like to fuck to, but...
It's when you jam your boner into something, or...
All right, so Mal was dead on.
Oh, yes!
Music so good it could elicit sexual arousal.
So you get a boner from the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's your physical response. Like most people get goosebumps from a part that they're like, "Oh, that's so good." That this they're like, "Bam, boner."
I don't think I've ever reached that level.
No,
of
I don't think I've gotten quite that bad. I mean there's some pretty dirty fucking breakdowns that I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, there's like some like loud thumping bass lines that I've had in my car that are like, oh, but I don't think I've ever really had a full on raging hard on over a song. Now I may have listened to one like I had a full on raging hard one, but that's a different story.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So one and only time something went right for me today.
Guessing the Urban Dictionary word of the night. That's real championship right here.
It's been a frustrating day.
You're telling me I had to work today, okay? I take today off every week.
Part of why it's been a frustrating day, because, like, Wednesdays are my days, and I'm not mad at you. Like, it was necessary. I'm never mad at you for that. But I don't like it.
No.
I can accept it without liking it. That doesn't happen often, but your work schedule is one of those things.
It's just stupid. Yeah. Like last week I worked 3 days damn near open to close or open to close. Like
fun.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sounds like
I fired a kid the beginning of last schedule. I fired one. I had one go out with COVID, which took 2 more out with COVID because they wanted them to not work for a week because they were exposed. I was like, oh my God. After 4 days after she got her results back that she had COVID, that's when they said, oh, these 2 people aren't allowed to work. I'm like, they already done work 4 fucking days after that. What do you, like, really? That's our fucking government for you, though. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, so if they were going to get anybody infected because they had it,
it wasn't going to happen in that 4 days.
I was like, it would be in that fucking 4 days. I was like, how fucking stupid are people? But anyways, so I had to take them both off the schedule. So then I was down to 5 people only to run a store. Yeah. Yeesh. I got my ass whipped all week.
Yeah, you did.
And I even had 3 days off. And I still had fucking over 40 hours.
Dude, wow. I can't wait for this weekend. You need a break away from home.
I know. It's only 2 days, though. I'm like, balls. It's really only 1 day away from home for us. Because it's Saturday evening to Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it's going to be fun.
Right.
I'm going away for my birthday. I get to go see my best friend.
Staying at her house.
Yeah, this is the first time I'll get to see her apartment.
Going to a reptile expo.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I get to see all the cool shit. Last time somebody had alligators and I didn't even get to hold it. Because the fucking people were like just hogging the area. Well, like, have you ever been to an expo of anything? Like, there's just like a shitload of vendors. And like people will just stand and like look at their shit, and then like if they want to talk to them, they'll stand there forever. And you're like, you get like 10 people standing there, and you're like, "Fuck me, son!" Like I just want to be able to pet the alligator. Like it's a 1-foot-long alligator.
I just want to.
There,
I touched it. Goodbye.
I just want to hold it or touch it. It's a baby alligator. That's badass. And I didn't even get to touch it.
Well, I didn't get to do half the shit I wanted to because the kids would not let go of me.
Yeah, our kids were being a challenge. They were being
not doing that this time.
No, we're going to a Pittsburgh one, and Mal's best friend's going to go, and her sister, so we're going to have, like, a bunch of adults going, so, like, we'll actually get to enjoy, like, they might have monitors there, which Mal's a huge monitor fanatic.
Oh, dude.
So, like, last time she got to touch, was it a Tagoo? Yeah, it was a Tagoo.
Black and white Tagoo.
So, like, a Tagoo is, like, a fucking... I mean, they get to be, like, 3-4 feet, I feel like. This one was pretty fucking big.
Oh, and their texture, their skin, it's like, when you take those little beads that we did in grade school and you kind of weave them together on those looms, and it's a bunch of tiny beads all packed together really tight.
I went to grade school in Virginia.
Okay, but still.
So no.
Okay, a bunch of really small tiny beads all packed together. That's what it felt like.
Okay.
Is boot dead? Just give me a heads up.
Okay.
If you're feeling risky.
it.
Yeah, if you're feeling risky. But yeah, like, the tagoos are really cool and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to have a tagoo someday.
Someday, maybe. Not anytime soon.
No.
But she is putting together, like, her cage for the ones that she's looking to get and stuff, so that's cool. But yeah, Saturday we're really looking to enjoy checking out some reptiles and similar things.
Sounds like a horrific night for me, but
I know. Well, there's a
you're
lot of
gonna be
cool
in your
stuff
goal.
with
I
reptiles.
mean, there would
though.
probably be some things there that I'd be interested in, but it'd be like more of a, oh, that's cool.
I'm taking pictures this
That's
time.
cool.
Like, if I find a gaboon viper, I'm taking pictures.
Yeah, like, when we went last time, we looked at all the different, like, they had tons of geckos, and they, like, the one guy had an alligator, like, set of alligators, like I said.
Right.
Another guy had vipers, which he had, like, 4 or 5 different kind of vipers sitting there.
Yeah.
He had, like, 3 Gavoon vipers, which are, like, really fucking dangerous. They're the fastest striking viper in the world.
And they have huge, huge fangs. And they're fucking beautiful as hell.
But they had those, and they had all kinds of geckos, and they had, like, little monitors of sorts. We saw an Aki monitor. We saw a Tagoo. There was, I think you said a black one, too, of some sort. I don't remember what you called it, though. Like a smaller black one.
Black dragon. They had black dragons. They had Nile monitors. They had croc monitors.
But, like, those are all, like, little lizards. And
They're
not
babies.
so little. Not so little, but, I mean, they're
babies, so they're little now, but they definitely will not be.
But then they had, like, bearded dragons, and something that looked like a bearded dragon, but it wasn't. I didn't see any armadillo lizards, I don't think. Which, armadillo lizards are super dope.
Does actually do
That's on our
something
list.
dope.
We need to get a physical list going.
They literally
right?
look like an armadillo, kinda, and they wrap up in their tail to protect themselves.
I think that you'll like looking at all our creatures through the cage walls.
Yeah, that's probably exactly how it'd be. It'd be like,
Well, like,
You're
geckos and
in
stuff
your
are super
home.
cool.
you're in your home. That's cool. You could stay there.
Right? But, I mean, you might like the geckos.
You get out. I'm
Yeah,
out.
You might like the geckos.
Or bearded dragons. Those are really super dope little things. I want to get a basilisk someday.
My buddy Vinny, he had a bearded dragon. It was actually funny because he named it Thor, and he actually made a little 3D hammer and gave it to him. And because they're, you put anything in their hands, they'll actually grab it. So he has pictures of him actually holding.
Oh my god,
the
that's
hammer.
the best. I think you'd like the geckos and the monitor lizards and the stuff like that. I think it's the snakes that you'd be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna pass on that.
Maybe not
That's
the
a hard
monitors
pass.
either, too, because they get pretty big.
I discovered an animal the other day that might intrigue you, and I'm curious how you're going to feel about it because you like lizards, but you do not like snakes.
Oh, God.
It's called a legless lizard.
Probably not.
It is literally a lizard. It looks, you know what a skink looks like? Like a blue-tongued skink?
I will have one someday.
We will have
Roughly.
one. Okay, they basically look like that without their legs.
Okay.
And they're just streamlined. Do
they live in water?
No.
Or... Okay.
Nope. They just chill out. They slither along the land, just like a
Okay.
snake. But they're a lizard.
But they look like a lizard.
Good for them.
Move like a snake. Look
But
like
they
a
are
lizard.
but genetically, they are a lizard, not a snake.
So what? Look, hold on. I'm guessing a lizard and a snake, a gecko and a snake got it on and made.
Of some sort. I mean, that's probably about what happened.
I don't know what happened, but it's called a legless lizard.
It's called evolution.
I know, but I want to know.
It's called.
I'm curious to
crossbreeding.
see if you would like it or if you would hate it because it's
I would look at it, but I don't think I would touch it.
no. I was curious. If
Someday-
we get, yes, it'd be cool as fuck to have one someday.
Someday when we get a blue tongue skink, I think you'll chill with it. Like you'll just let it sit on your shoulder.
They
And,
are
like-
really just like meh.
We watched a video of Coyote Wild. He's the dumb ass that fucking gets stung by all the bullshit.
Yeah,
Fuck
he's
that shit.
retarded.
Like fuck that shit. I'm just saying.
He got stung by one of those death hornets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was for a good
we
minute.
watched a lot of his videos.
Yeah, we've
I'm
watched
like,
a lot
yeah,
of
fucking
them. We're like, God damn.
Yeah.
I like
Anyways,
him, though.
he's in the wild wherever they're at in the wild, and he's like, let's see if we can find a blue tongue skink and show you what their like defense stuff is. And he found one, and like a wild one, he fucking grab a hold. He just like walks up and grabs it, like swoops underneath its belly and grabs it like right around like its neck with his fingers and like has its legs around.
like that, so he can't.
And he's just like holding it like this, and it like flicked its head back and was like all pissed off acting. But it was just chill. And then once he had it, he just had it like this, and they're filming it, and it wasn't snapping at him, wasn't doing anything. It was just chilling. A wild one. Like just imagine how chill like a not wild one is that's been bred and you deal with it every day. You'd probably be like, hey, what's going on, bud? Like, come on over. Let's get you some food. And they just come chill with you, like crawl right up your arm, and they'll sit right on your shoulder.
They'd be like the perfect reptile for you if you ever wanted a reptile.
They're just really chill, and they have a huge blue tongue.
They do.
They're super dope looking.
Yeah, like, I mean, Shar-Pei dog kind of, that kind of pigment, but blue instead of purple.
Like, it's just really dope. Really dope looking.
It is really cool. Well, we're going to have one. We need to actually make a physical list.
Right. Someday I want a basilisk. So bad.
The one that turns you into stone?
No, a basilisk is a small lizard that has webbed feet in the back. Huge webbed feet. And they literally call it the Jesus. They literally call it the Jesus lizard because it'll run on water. It's how fast it runs. They're super cool looking, and they're super fast.
Odd has come to the possible understanding that Mal might try and convince him at some point to let me get a fruit bat of some kind.
I don't know what the regulations in Pennsylvania are for them, though, because they do have the ability to get rabies. And I know that anything that's able to carry rabies, I know there's a bunch of certain bullshit you have to go through, so I'm not sure how much of a pain in the dick it is.
Right.
Because if it's like hundreds of hours of training and blah, 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 I'm not fucking doing that. Like, that's just dumb.
Right.
He already agreed to let me have my little fennec fox. It's gonna be adorable.
I'm sorry for your furniture.
No,
No, it's not gonna be in the house.
It's gonna be part of our reptile collection.
It's going to have like its own little part
Yeah.
someday in our...
Okay.
Kind of like how, of course, Brian Barczyk.
Yeah.
Of course, because Brian Barczyk has to have, he has a sloth, and he's getting stingrays, and he's getting fucking, he's getting just bullshit.
They signed the paperwork. They hired an architect yesterday.
So, like, they're getting all kinds of different shit that's not reptiles, so she's like, see, we can get other stuff besides reptiles. I'm like, I know.
It just sounds like more money.
But eventually, I mean, we talked about it, and like, I really want pygmy marmosets someday. Like, that would have to be its own little wing, because they're a primate. They're the smallest primate in the world. They're literally like 4 to 6 inches tall. Okay. And they're called finger monkeys normally. They're super dope.
They're adorable.
Anyways, I would love to have like 4 or 6 of them, because you have to have more than 2.
Right.
Because they live like in a community.
They're a social animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, very social. They'll get very depressed. They'll actually die because they're so depressed. If you have them alone or with just one other one, because they actually like interact with each other, like friendly and whatnot. So when you only have 2 of them, they don't have enough association stuff. So I think it would be super dope. And you don't have to have a special permit for them in Pennsylvania.
Nope.
Interesting.
So
You do to have a monkey, but for some reason they don't count because they're so small.
Yep. So we could actually get those, and then fennec foxes are bred in captivity now. You can get them domesticated, little pets, and I want one really, really bad. And so I've kind of begged and pleaded a little bit, and
We'll see how long it takes. because we have a lot of other shit that we're looking to do stuff with. Have you guys thought about an advice of the night? Because I have. I always have something. I don't know why.
I have
usually
not.
do.
I swear to God, I talk. I
have
just
a hard
like
enough
my
time
brain
getting
is
my
just like,
stoner
nah.
questions of the night together, much less the advice.
So my thought process is how many, like, I feel like it's good to always get just like a different bowl here and there. And I feel like you do that, like, first off, so that way you have something else to, like, talk about with your friends and whatnot. But also, like, it helps you with, like, I don't know, enjoying your weed more. Like, I love all of our pipes, and they're all dirty and whatnot, and we love them being dirty. Because they're a little smoother to hit, because they do have some resin buildup already and whatnot.
That's why you've been procrastinating for like a year.
So it takes the burn out of most of your hit, compared to a brand new pipe, which is what we're smoking out of right now,
Right.
hence red dying.
Yeah.
So, like, do you guys think that you should have a new pipe ever so often? Like, what do you think would you recommend other people to get a new pipe? Even just to put in your mix, because once it gets a little dirty, then you just put it in your mix with the other pipes, so that way your other pipes have better longevity, I feel like.
Like once every 6 months.
You think
should buy
at
a
least
new
one pipe every 6 months?
half a year.
Yeah, so you guys are in agreement. You guys think every 6 months.
It's
My
it's
thing
at the
more
minimum.
about it is, like, yeah, minimum, or, like...
No, I mean at the maximum. Like,
You should at least have a new one every 6
yeah.
months.
By the 6 month mark, you should have a new one.
And that just, like, helps your longevity.
I remember my first pipe, like, I smoked that thing for, like, ever. Took me a while to actually bring in a second piece into mine, because I didn't want to explode into a giant, like... I didn't want to have a giant-ass collection at first, but that changed after the years as more cooler pipes and stuff came out.
Well, Mal's extra, and as soon as we got one, all of a sudden we had 8.
Right. So, like, I'm just saying in general, like, I remember my first pipe took me a while to move on, and I guess it was just when I was growing up, it was harder to get pipes, because you didn't just go to a head shop and just get pipes. You really had to go, like, scrounging around, and somebody be like, hey, you want that pipe? You know, we can either trade or whatever, but because it's your first pipe, you don't want to trade. So you're like, I'll buy it off you, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not like, things are different now. You know?
I mean, it's so much more
The internet's a
common
beautiful
in, like smoking weed used to be a big thing for, like, anyone that was over the age of, like, 45, 50.
Yeah.
So now, like, that generation's all retired and getting super old. So then, like, the generation now that was, like, in their 30s and 40s, they're now their 50s and 60s, they're all chill with it because they grew up around it a
Right.
little bit. Like, it was
Right.
all hidden back then
It
and
was
stuff.
secretive.
But, yeah, but, like, they all smoked weed when they were in college and then when they were younger. And then they grew up and they quit smoking weed.
Right.
Because the world demanded it, basically.
Right. So then,
I don't know.
now...
I
what?
got skipped in this process somehow. Sure did.
I don't know how, because I handed it, or I got it from you.
No, you did not.
Okay.
Red handed it to you. Or Red
Well, then
handed
hit it, woman. Then hit it, woman.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. It's
Oh,
fine.
I don't care.
Just give it back to Red, and then just go
good.
back around.
My brain was just functioning really slowly, and it was going.
I think
Hey.
we're all focused on the advice.
I think we were. I was too, because I was.
Well, we
zoned
were
in
all
really
into
hard.
it because I thought it was like something good to talk about.
Right, because like I'm not trying to like just talk more about like history, because like I'm trying to get on with it a little bit, because there's more to it. Like once I started getting a collection started, that's when like my mindset changed on how often I should get a pipe. So I think when you're first getting into it, don't go crazy with it unless you know you're going to get into it heavily. So, like, but if you get more into it, then I'd say, hey, every couple months or so, treat yourself. Get a new pipe. It's nice to have a new pipe. It's nice to, you know, hit something different every now and again. Because, like I said, when I first started, I had my first pipe, and I religiously used that for the longest time. So,
like how we want different kind of pipes.
you also guys started smoking a lot more before you guys really had pipes around.
Right. But like, we've been buying different stuff. Like the next thing we'll probably buy is either a shillelagh or else we'll buy a Gandalf, because those are really the only two that we have left.
If you find a good shillelagh, let me know, because I will jump on that bandwagon and buy one. I miss mine with a passion.
Right, I have to find some. I don't necessarily know exactly what a shillelagh is to look like exactly, because I know it looks similar to a Gandalf.
Head-ass bowl, because it was the bowl that fit in my hand that I could clench around and then just straight pipe. Just be like, instead.
Huh.
Pretty much how I explain it. Huh. All I know is it felt really good in my hand, and it hit stupid good, especially when we smoked a lot out of it.
Right.
And we smoked a lot out of that.
We like to just get a different feel. Like if we're not looking to smoke a whole lot, but we're looking to get fairly high.
That's kind of why I got the pepper.
Well,
not gonna lie, when I saw the pepper, I was like, oh, that's dope. That's also different. So
right. Like we smoke out of Ozzy, our steamroller, because...
Dude, that little bastard.
I mean, the bowl on it's tiny, but you get like 7-8 hits out of it. And after you've hit it, like a real hit off of a steamroller. It has
chambers in it.
Yeah, it has 3 chambers in it and everything. So like when you hit that, I mean, you get fucking straight. It's like smoking a blunt. Like blunts hit you harder because it's straight down.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been smoking a lot out of my gravity bong because it is a different way of smoking. Just in general, because like it's not like a normal bong or anything. Definitely not like a bong or anything. Well,
I mean, there's nothing that shoots it straight down your throat like a blunt or a joint does. That's the reason why a blunt and joint works really well at getting you high. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you put a lot of weed into a blunt. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
joints,
another reason you get really high.
Joints or pinners or whatever you want to call them. You know, some people call them bombs because they make big, huge ones. Whatever. They get you more messed up with less weed because it's going straight down your throat.
Right.
Just like a cigarette does. So when you do have something that shoots straight down your throat, like a steamroller or like a gravity bong, it hits you harder, faster. So like you don't have to use as much weed.
Right.
So like with our little tiny fucking steamroller bowl that we have, I mean, me and Mal get pretty ripped on just 4 hits each.
Yeah.
And then we're good for like a couple of hours if we're looking to chill for like the afternoon or something.
Usually I want a nap.
You just like riggedy wrecked off tiny bits. Tiny bits of weed.
Dude, on Easter I took a coma. I did not take a nap. I took a coma. I didn't feel good, and so Sue gave me, my mama-in-law gave me some meds, okay, and they knocked my ass out. I slept for 4 hours, and he woke me up.
Well, I woke her up because I was like, I know if I let her sleep past like 6 o'clock at night, she's gonna be fucking pissed because we're gonna leave, and she's not gonna get to spend any time with the rest of the family. So I got her up at 6, so.
Yeah.
Well, our pipe went out.
That's it.
So I guess it's about that time.
Yeah, because I'm fucking starving.
Alright, so it's time we get Gandhi.
A little later.
Alright, so if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube and whatever you're on, Spotify. Yeah.
Wherever the hell you are.
We don't
just
know,
because as much as we could get out there, the better it is for us, you know. And I mean, obviously, it shows that you guys like it, and we appreciate seeing that you guys like it. So we would just love
smile. It really does.
Yeah,
love to see that sub.
Seeing everything, you know. We're gonna get everything here rolling here soon.
So on that set, I also want to say that we have our episode comes out every Friday night. Usually, hopefully, we like to get out about 4:20. Depending on work schedules, it doesn't always work out that way.
But we try.
But so you can hear the Ganja People every Friday night after 4:30-ish, somewhere in the afternoon, evening time.
Yep.
Every single week.
All right.
On that note, we're going to say we're out. So just remember, don't let your meatloaf.
Keep it creative.
Keep it dank, Ganja Gang.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.